All right, protect your heart on this Valentine's Day. And we're not talking about from heartbreak.
Yeah, but we're talking about showing some love to your heart. Dr. Deena is here with all the ways that we can keep our heart healthy. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the gifts.
Oh, of course.
You know,
Thank you.
My first Valentine gift of the day. I'm sure there'll be others.
Yes, I hope so.
But we're talking about heart disease.
Yes.
And specifically, why is it so important to pay attention
So important to know about heart disease, especially heart disease in women. And this month is specific to talking about heart disease, not just because of Valentine's Day, but because it's important for all of us to pay attention to our heart that keeps us healthy. So in general, when we talk about, heart disease, we talk about who's at risk for heart disease. And there's many people that are at risk, especially people who have uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled blood pressure, uncontrolled high cholesterol, and then we also talk about people with lifestyle changes that are specifically increasing their risk of heart disease.
There's a race factor as well.
That's
isn't there?
right, yes. So African Americans are at higher risk for heart disease than most other populations as well.
When we talk about heart disease, obviously you want to be able to identify if you're suffering from something. What are some of the symptoms, and does it differ from men and women?
So the interesting thing is there is a difference between the symptoms that women and men present with, which is really important to know. So I'll first talk about the symptoms in general. So the general symptoms related to heart disease might be chest pain, chest pressure, pain that's going from your chest into your neck, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, and feeling like your heart is beating very fast. Specifically to women, we actually have very different symptoms. The pain is not always in the chest, but it might be in the abdomen, the throat, the neck, in some very different locations, and associated with a lot of GI symptoms like nausea, vomiting, indigestion, and heartburn. So it's important if you have those symptoms to be seen by a doctor right away.
Yeah, and what's that screening process like?
So important to get your blood pressure checked at every annual evaluation with your doctor. They also might recommend cholesterol screening as well as diabetes screening to ensure that you're on your way to better health.
So if you have any warning signs, is there any way to reverse it for people?
Yeah, so it's really important to know that time is heart muscle. That's what we say in the medical world. The more longer you wait, if you're having these symptoms, the more likely you are to have damage to your heart. So really important that in the beginning, when you're starting to have these symptoms, you get evaluated right away, because the longer you wait, the more likely you can have damage to your heart, which can become irreversible.
We talk about heartbreak. In romance world, can it actually have an impact on your heart? Like, say you go through a breakup and you feel
stressed.
Yeah, heartbroken.
Absolutely. So one of the big factors related to heart disease also is stress. So somebody who already has chronic stress and then they're developing some other stress related to a breakup, for example, that can add another stress on the heart, which can lead to other damage.
All right, it's interesting that one of the symptoms for women is excessive fatigue. I've heard a lot of women say that, and they attributed it to them having like more workload and things like that. So you should really pay more attention to you just feeling tired.
Absolutely. And one of the things we didn't talk about was why women are more at risk. One of the reasons women may be more at risk is, especially in our older population, is menopause. So what you might not know is that estrogen is actually protective of our heart and our blood vessels. So as you go through menopause, you lose estrogen, and as a result of that, your blood vessels aren't as protected as they once were.
Next time we'll have to talk about pregnancy and how that affects your heart. A lot of people
absolutely. Lots of pregnancy complications related to heart disease as well.
Well, doctor, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You warmed our heart with those gifts.
Okay.
So appreciate it.
All right, for more health tips, you can follow Dr. Deena on Instagram. Her information is right there on your screen, and we'll be right back.